There are many mistakes that we make when we're trying to trade with binary options or when we're trying to trade with Forex. And as beginners, we actually do most of the mistakes are the ones that we actually make during the first steps of the process. In this specific video, I'm gonna tell you the 10 dumbest mistakes that I did as a beginner with binary options. Are you ready? If you're new into my channel, my name is Christian and this is the BLW Online Trading channel. And in this channel, I do a lot of software reviews, broker reviews, and just like this one, I give you tips and strategies as to how to make money with online trading. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. With that being said, let's jump into the video. Okay, so I want to start fast and straight to the point. I don't want to keep this video too long, but I want you to actually learn what it's important. And I want to start with the mistake number one that I did when I was a beginner with binary options and Forex. And the mistake number one was that I almost quit. I almost gave up on the dream of being a day trader. I almost quit. What I thought it was that I wasn't capable of becoming a day trader. I wasn't capable of controlling my emotions. I wasn't capable of a bunch of things. So that's mistake number one. And it was the worst of all of the mistakes. Because if I would have completed that mistake, I would not be here. You know, I would be somewhere else, probably at a 9-to-5 job and following directions from a terrible boss or something like that. But no, I almost quit, and that's mistake number one. And I know you've been through it, and I know many people have been through it. So I wanted to share mistake number one. Mistake number two that I did as a beginner with binary options is I didn't get enough education, okay? So I watched a couple of videos. A couple of friends told me, hey, do you hear about this thing called binary options? And I watched a couple of videos like, hey, how to turn $50 into $10,000 in 7 minutes. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I want to do this. And I jumped right into my computer and started trading. You know what happened? Yes, I lost my money. Why? I didn't get enough education. And that's one of the biggest problems that most people are making nowadays. Like as we speak, as you watch this video, many people is not getting education. Instead of watching videos just like this one, what they do is that they just go ahead and start gambling inside of a broker. So what is it that you can do in order to avoid this mistake? The first thing that you have to keep in mind is that education is not cheap. Right? Education, worst scenario. When it comes to online trading, most people are selling courses for like $1,000 or $2,000. But no, there's a way where you can start and it is 100% free. It is the BLW Trading Academy. I'm actually gonna put the link somewhere here. It's www.blwtradingacademy.com. That academy is my personal trading and it is 100% free. Start from there. I'm not saying that's gonna be the definite education you're gonna get in order to be successful with online trading, but it's a good start. And the second advice, keep on getting education. After even you finish the academy, keep on getting education and you'll be good to go. That's mistake number two, not getting enough education. Mistake number three that I did as a beginner with binary options and Forex is I invested too early. And the problem with that is it goes hand in hand with not getting education, right? The problem with investing too early is that you're gonna risk money without having knowledge, without knowing what you're doing. And I understand the hype, the adrenaline of actually knowing that there's a big opportunity to make money and you want to jump right into it. You feel like, hey, the train's gonna go. I'm not gonna be able to make my money because people is making money. So the money's gonna run. No, we're not gonna run out of money. Okay, there's billions of dollars in this industry and they can wait for you. But you can contribute for the losses of the industry if you don't get education first and you invest too early. So that's mistake number three that I did. I went ahead and I was like, okay, it's $100 as the minimum deposit. So I'm gonna put $100 in here. Doesn't matter. It had been like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ever since I heard about binary options. I didn't know how to actually do it, but I invested. And guess what? Yeah, I lost the $100. I lost the $100. Then a couple of weeks later, I invested another $100 and I lost it again. Why? I was investing too early. And then this is, I'm not talking about amount of time. I'm not talking about, hey, you should invest like 3 months later. No, that's not the point. The point is that you should invest once you actually get enough practice and you know what you're doing. That can take a day, that can take 3 days, that can take a week, that can take a year. It doesn't matter. But don't invest too early. Invest only when you know exactly what you are doing. That's mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 I did. Mistake number 4 I made when I was a beginner at binary options is not being disciplined. And you know, the biggest problem with not being disciplined, or the biggest obstacle that you find when you become a day trader, is that you don't have a boss. And you might say, hey, but that's a good thing. Yes, it's a good thing, but also a bad thing. Why? Because when you have a boss, they tell you what to do. They tell you the schedule. They tell you how they want to do it. They give you targets. They give you requirements for your tasks. But when you can become a day trader, you don't have any boss. And the problem is that if you are not disciplined enough, you're not gonna be able to follow a schedule. You're not gonna be able to follow rules. You're not gonna be able to set yourself targets. You're not gonna be able to follow the requirements to get to those targets. So I wasn't disciplined. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm a day trader now. I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't give a damn. And I'm gonna sleep at 9. I'm gonna drink every day. I'm gonna smoke. And yeah, you know, I'm gonna trade tomorrow. I'm gonna recover my money. Tomorrow I'm gonna be twice the trades that I was supposed to do today. Today I'm just gonna drink. I'm gonna waste my day. That's not being disciplined. No, when you actually wanna become a day trader, you're supposed to have a schedule. That's number 1. Number 2 is a weekly target. And number 3, you have to have a must. What is a must? You have to place 5 trades a day, 3 trades a day, 2 trades a day. Whatever your target is, you have to have a must. You have to wake up. I'm not saying, hey, wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. No, that's not the point. There's no time to wake up. But if the best time for you to trade is at 9 a.m., then make sure you're disciplined enough to be sitting at 9 a.m. in the morning placing your trades. Because if you're like, yeah, you know what, I feel like I want to watch a football game right now, a soccer game, whatever, and yeah, I'm going to trade later on, and then boom, you trade out of your regular schedule, and then boom, you lose money. And even if you make money, if you don't have the discipline, trust me, eventually you're gonna crash. So that's mistake number 4 that I did when I was a beginner and binary option, not being disciplined enough. Remember that when you become a day trader, you're gonna become your own boss. So be the worst boss that there's ever been. Be pushy with yourself, be strict with yourself, and also be motivating with yourself. I hope that really makes sense. Mistake number 5 that I did when I was a beginner and binary options is I chose the wrong broker. And in this specific part, I don't want to talk about like, hey, regulated, not regulated, this is the best broker. No, I'm not talking about that. That doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference. When I mention the wrong broker, is the wrong broker for the trading style I want to get in. So if you're going to trade with 1 minute trades, make sure you actually choose a broker that has 1 minute trades, right? If you want to trade 5 minute trades, make sure you have a broker that has 5 minute trades. If you want to trade on your phone, make sure you actually have a broker that has an application for your phone. Does that make sense? So I chose a broker which first of all had a low payout, which was top option. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's what's called top option. I couldn't deposit $100. I mean, it was too much money for me back then. And I had to deposit like around $10. But no, I went with a broker because I was recommended that broker instead of going for another one that it was recommended, but that could get a lower deposit. So choose the best broker for you. Okay, don't make the mistake of choosing a broker just because my neighbor has it, just because Christian has it, just because my no, that doesn't matter. Choose a broker that is right for you. Nowadays, there are way more options that they used to be back then. But now you have the opportunity, but also the challenge to choose like among a bunch of brokers. watch a video. I actually made a video as to how much money you need to invest, and I made broker comparisons as to minimum deposit, the payers, the payouts, and everything. So you should check that video out. I'm sure you guys are gonna find it very, very valuable, and you'll be able to understand exactly what broker you could go with depending on what trading style you have. That's mistake number 5, choosing the wrong broker. Mistake number 6, and this is a big one, asking advice from too many people. And this is not just for binary options as beginners. This is in life. Like, we all have this tendency of going for advice for 2 or 3 people, and if they are opposite advices, then you get confused. And we make 2 mistakes in this specific area. First, number 1 is asking advice from people that have not achieved the target that you have. That's mistake number 1. If you're gonna go with someone for advice, make sure that person is actually in a higher level than you are. Because if you go with your teammate, if you go with a classroom mate, if you go with a coworker, and you guys are in the same position, you guys get drunk all Fridays, and you guys like to waste your day, waste your life and everything, it doesn't really make a difference if you ask an advice for him or you advise yourself, right? What you have to do is go and ask advice for someone that is actually on a higher level. It can be your boss, whatever, someone that you admire and you want to be in the same position that person is. I hope that makes sense. So my personal experience is that I went for a mentor. I went to online, because unfortunately I didn't have any physically, and you can do that as well. It doesn't have to be a physical person in front of you, like mentoring you or anything like that. But I went online and I found someone that was doing what I wanted to do. He was where I wanted to be. So I went with them and I was like, hey, I want to do exactly what you're doing. So can you give me advice, right? And that's mistake number 1, like asking advice from the wrong person. And advice number 2 is asking for too many people. Like, it's cool that you know 1, 2, 3 people that are in a higher position you are. But you have to choose one. Why? Because they're gonna have mixed opinions. And that happens all the time. Like, yeah, you're wealthy, but this person actually took this road to be wealthy. This person took this one, and this person took this one. So everybody has different advice for different situations. So choose just one. If that person made it, you're gonna make it as well if you follow exactly what that person's telling you. But you have to choose one. Don't get confused with too many advice, and make sure you ask advice from the right person. I hope that really makes sense. That's mistake number 6. Mistake number 7 I did when I was a beginner in binary options, it was not being patient. And yeah, patient is a virtue. I don't even know how to say it, but it's a feature, is a quality, a great quality in human beings. Why? Patient is not only going to help you with binary options, but it's also going to help you in life. But applying the binary options, this is the patient that I want you to have. You are not going to make $1,000 at the first 10 minutes that you register with a broker with a minimum deposit of $10. This comes into place where you see those scams that say, hey, in 24 hours, you're going to get $24,000. That's bull crap. It doesn't exist. What you have to do is actually be patient enough to actually go like, hey, you know what? You're going to make some money, but you have to wait for some time. First, you're gonna go through the process of getting education, then practice, then investing, then you're gonna go through failure. Eventually, you're gonna fail. You're gonna have a bad day, a bad week. You're gonna lose some money. You have to recover from that and learn from that. And then all those steps have to be taken before you actually get to make $1,000 a day, right? So be patient. And this doesn't just apply on that. Be patient with your trades. That's so many people like either following signals or placing trades, and they're like, hey, here's this resistance line and it hasn't touched yet. And you're like, instead of waiting for it to actually touch and then start dropping, you're like, no, I'm gonna enter here. It doesn't matter. I don't wanna lose my trade. They enter this area, and instead of dropping, it jumps just a little bit more. It finishes in the resistance line, and boom, you lose your trade. You were not patient enough. You have to be patient. Okay? This is one of the greatest qualities you're gonna find in order to make money, and it will make such a huge difference on your trading career. Trust me, you can increase easily from 25 to 50% more profits if you're patient with your trade. That's mistake number 7 that I did when I was a beginner with binary options. Mistake number 8 is deposit more than I could afford to lose. And this comes into place as well with not choosing the right broker. So this is exactly what I did. I made like $400 like a month on my paycheck on my job, and investing $100 wasn't easy because I had all my expenses. I had to support my mother. I had to support, and I had a bunch of expenses, right? Plus I have bills to pay and stuff. Bad money management, by the way, but I didn't have the $100 to keep on investing. However, I went ahead and did it. Do you know what the problem is? It's not investing the $100 because it's risky, yeah, and you can recover it, yes. But the problem is that since I invested more than I could afford to lose, my emotions were all over the place inside of those $100. So whenever I lose $10, whenever I used to lose $10, I was like, whoa, I just lost $10. I can't afford to lose another $10. You know what I mean? So my emotions were like, yo, what did I do? I was all nervous. I was all freaked out. I was all mad. I was all angry. I was all sad, disappointed, frustrated. So all those emotions were taken over into my actual trading knowledge. I was not patient because of my emotions. I was not smart. I wasn't wise. And I wasn't really following directions from the admins that I was following at the moment. So what you have to do is just invest what you can afford to lose. If it's $10, go with $10. Doesn't matter what people say. Like, hey, how come you invest $10? You're not gonna make any money. No. Yes, I am, but it's gonna take me a little bit longer to make that much money, right? But you have to be patient. You have to work from the smallest that you can, that is not gonna affect your emotions. If it's $10, it's $10. If it's 20, it's 20. If it's 100, it's 100. If it's 5,000, it's 5,000. Nowadays, and this was when I was a beginner, right? The $100. Nowadays, I can invest $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, and it's not gonna affect my emotions, mostly because I have education, and secondly, because I can't afford to lose that money, and that's not gonna change my life, that's not gonna affect me, that's not gonna affect the rent, the mortgage, the car bills, the whatever it is that you have as an expense. It's not gonna affect it. Why? Because I'm investing only what I can afford to lose. That's mistake number 8. That's mistake number 8. Mistake number 9 is one of the ones that you probably have in mind. If you're a beginner, mostly, you have this specific thought. I want to be rich now. It's like the mistake number 9 is wanting to be rich too quickly. Now, the truth is that yes, you can become rich by, and let's face it, the word rich, or the definition of rich, according to the United States, is making over $300,000 in 1 year. Yes, I do that every single year. So I'm rich. But the definition of rich, it depends on every person. So you could be rich depending on your country, the currency you handle, how much money you need to live. You can be rich with $20,000 a month. You can be rich with $5,000 a month, or you can be rich with $50,000 a month. It doesn't really matter. But the word rich, when you want to become rich, you want to get to that point too fast. That's mistake number 9. The problem is that since you want to get there too fast, you want to take shortcuts, and there are no shortcuts in binary options and Forex. There are no shortcuts. Do you see those videos like, $10,000 from $5 in 7 minutes? Cool. They start with a trading, mostly their demo accounts, and they're like, oh, but I invest the $5, then I invest 15, then I invest 100, and then boom, in like 15 minutes, they got $50,000 in there, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna withdraw right now, and then we're gonna go away. The way they actually do it is that, and I don't want to judge anyone, don't take it personal if you're a YouTuber and you make one of these videos or anything like that, but don't get me wrong, but mostly the idea they sell is that it's too easy to actually do it. You can do it within an hour, you can do it within 30 minutes, and that's not the way it is, okay? If they can do it, that's fine, but that's not you. My recommendation is that, let's face it, if you try it, you're probably gonna try it like 50 times and you're not gonna make it, and you're gonna lose a lot of money on those attempts, right? It's better to go slowly and go to your target eventually, but with the confidence, with the education, and without emotions. There's people in my signals group that started with $50 and they're now at $20,000. They went slowly, following signals every single day. They didn't went crazy like placing 100 trades a day or 50 trades a day or something like that, okay? That's mistake number 9, wanted to get rich too quickly. And you have to avoid that mistake, okay? You're gonna get there, trust me. Listen to my words. You are going to get there. If you follow all the advices that I'm giving you in this video, you will be rich. Probably not today, probably not tomorrow, but eventually you will be rich. And ask yourself, is it worth it to wait? I'm pretty sure it is. That's mistake number 1. And mistake number 10, and the one that I want to finish with this video, it's mostly, as a beginner, but you're making money already, it's making withdrawal too fast. And here's where I explain you the mistake. Withdrawal your money is basically the end target of trading binary options Forex, right? You want to get your money out. But whenever you invest $100 and you make $300, if you withdraw $200, you're back in the starting point. Does that make sense? So you're back with $100. It's like you didn't do anything. So this is exactly what I do, my personal experience, and I did that as well. You know, I actually made from $20, I made like $800 or something like that, and I withdrew like $700. I had 100. I made like 300 more. I withdrew 200, and I was just wasting my time. What I said that I did this year, for example, I started with $250. I went to $10,000. I made a withdrawal of $5,000. That's a difference, right? From $250, I made $5,000, and I still had $5,000 to trade. And then I took the $5,000 all the way to $100,000, and I made a withdrawal of around $50,000 and then $20,000. That's a huge difference, right? It's way better, right? I know you have bills to pay. I know you have expenses, and you probably are withdrawing because you need to pay those bills. And that's completely understandable. And yes, do it. Go ahead and do it if it's an emergency or if it's necessary. But if it's not, if you just want to withdraw your money because you want to go to the beach house, because you want to travel, because you want to buy a couple of, a pair of Jordan shoes or something like that, don't do it. Just keep your money on your broker until you reach at least 10 times or more what you deposited. Why? Because that way you're gonna be significant increases in your account every single month. Imagine this, you start with $100 and you make $1,000, or let's say $500 in the first month. You don't make any withdrawal. Then second month, you take it all the way to $2,000. Now you can withdraw $1,000 because you have $1,000 left in your account. Then the next month you go to, let's say $3,000. You don't make any withdrawal there. The next month you get to $6,000. Then you can withdraw $3,000. It sounds easier, right? At the end of the year, you're gonna have an account of $10,000 with withdrawals of $15,000 or $20,000 a month. That's what you have to do. That's the point of making money with binary options and Forex. It's not just like about investing $10 and getting $1,000 at the end of the day. That's not the way it is. It's creating a portfolio of investment that you can use to make more money and withdraw big amounts of money every single month. That's mistake number 10 that I did. I hope that really helps you, and I hope these mistakes really help you out with your trading career. I'm gonna try to list them below in the description of this video so that you can read them, copy them, and have it in somewhere in your computer. And they're like, hey, I'm not gonna make any mistakes of this. And when you do it, mark them like, hey, this month I already made this mistake. Make sure next month you're not gonna do it. I hope you like this video, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure you actually smash the like button. And thank you for watching this video up until the end. Make sure you actually share it with your friends, your fellow traders, that I'm sure that they're gonna get familiar with any of the mistakes that we shared in this specific video. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you next time.